Evening routines. So last week I spoke all about morning routines and about making it your own, but I also believe that evening routines can be as important as when you first wake up in the morning. How we end our day is what kind of rest we get when we're asleep, and that determines on how awake we are when we wake up in the morning. So I personally believe an evening routine is as important as a morning routine. So as I said last week, we're all limited edition and we should all create our own evening routines. So I thought I would just give a few ideas of things that you could do just to make sure that you get that restful night's sleep that we all need to be the best versions of ourselves, in my humble opinion. So one of the things I truly believe in is getting off your phone at least an hour before you go to bed. Getting off your phone, turning off the TV, getting off the laptop, all of that kind of thing. Getting away from electronics at least an hour before bed. Now, I know when I first heard this, I stressed out immediately. I thought there's no way I could be off my phone for an hour before bed. No way, not a chance. I need to check my Instagram, I need to listen to all the music I love, I need to listen to books. But since I've been putting my phone away an hour before bed, I leave it downstairs and then go do my evening routine upstairs. I've noticed a huge difference in the quality of my sleep. So this is one of the biggest ones I would always recommend, because like I said, the quality of sleep determines how we rest and how we wake up the next day. So this one for me was huge, and it was a bit of a game changer, if I'm honest, especially leaving it downstairs so I couldn't just peek at it. So I think relaxing and winding down is the best way to end your day, and some ways we can do that is by relaxing and enjoying a bubble bath or a really nice pampering shower. We can have a nice, relaxed, chilled skin routine in the evening. So instead of rushing to get your makeup off and to get your night cream on or whatever it is that you do, maybe just think, do you know what, instead of rushing for 5 minutes, I'm going to make it 20 minutes long, and I'm really going to concentrate on letting my skin soak up all the goodness. If that's not your thing, perhaps reading a fiction or non-fiction book, whatever you're into. Yes, it does keep your mind going, but it is quite a nice way to relax and switch off from, like I say, the devices, and just let your mind wander just a little bit, but not too much. Another fantastic thing to do in the evening is reflect on your day. Our days go by so quickly that a lot of the time we don't even notice some of the things that we've done or some of the things that we have achieved, especially things that we've achieved. So by either journaling or just sitting and thinking about all the things you've achieved that day, I think just by sitting and doing that will actually make you realise that you've achieved a lot more than what you actually realise. And then perhaps do a little celebration victory dance in your head of all the things that you've done for yourself and for other people and for work and for all of that kind of thing. I think that's a wonderful way to finish a day. Another one, I do this personally first thing in the morning, but if you don't like doing writing in the morning, perhaps do your gratitude list just before you go to bed. Write down 3 things that you were really grateful for, or 3 things that you were grateful that you did that day, just to bring that gratitude in just before you go to sleep. Another way to wind down is doing an evening meditation. So there's plenty of morning meditations out there, but there are some evening ones as well, which help us to relax and unwind, and helps us to breathe, to steady the breath, and to calm our mind, calm our bodies, getting ready for bed, which is fantastic. So as I say, meditation, brilliant. Evening affirmations as well are fantastic. They're as important as morning affirmations. Again, in my humble opinion, getting those good affirmations and that good positive vibe in our brains just before we go to bed, I think is a fantastic way to bring in more positivity. Why not do it just before you go to sleep? I mean, what's it gonna hurt? Another great thing, I think this goes when it comes to journaling or gratitude, is appreciating yourself, and appreciating yourself for what you've actually achieved, what you've actually done. Appreciating yourself for all the little things. Perhaps you drank a glass of water and it was your goal for the day, or you walked somewhere, or you just sat and thought, do you know what, I'm having a pretty good day, or do you know what, I'm feeling good today, or I appreciate this little thing that I did for myself. Anything like that. The more you start appreciating yourself and noticing that you're appreciating yourself, the more you will do it. And it's such a wonderful cycle to get into, because the more you appreciate yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you do things for yourself, and the better you feel. So definitely add in some appreciation in your day somewhere. Another great way to wind down and to get rid of things off your head. Say if you've had a really busy day and you need to think, right, I need to do this today, this tomorrow, this the next day. Do a brain dump. I have done a video on brain dumping and the science behind it, but do a brain dump. Basically, get a piece of paper and a pen, and everything that's on your mind, write it all down. Our minds don't remember everything. They can't. So use it as like a second brain. Write it all down, dump everything on a piece of paper, and then if you need to look at it in the morning, look at it in the morning, and it will remind you of the things you need to do. Or even make a to-do list for the next day. Say you've got 5 things you really need to get done the next day. Just do yourself a to-do list for the next day. Get it off your mind, because then your mind has cleared it, it's not stressing about it all day, and you'll get a better night's sleep. You could also set intentions for the next day. So say I intend for in the morning to do a nice, relaxed, chilled morning routine before I go to work, so I can have that little bit of self-love, that little bit of self-care, and set that intention, get it in your mind, and really focus on what kind of amazing morning you're going to have the next morning. So, as I've said, the whole point of an evening routine is to just relax, unwind, just get everything off your brain, and have the most refreshing night's sleep that you can have, just so you can wake up in such a better mood. If you wake up with headaches, it's because you haven't allowed yourself to wind down, and you haven't allowed yourself to have the rest that your brain needs. It needs to rest, it needs to recover. It is a muscle, just like all of our muscles. If you do a really, really heavy workout, you need to let your body rest afterwards, and our minds are exactly the same. When we spend all day, every day, stuck to a computer, or stressing about work, or stuck on our phone, or worrying about money, or building a business, or family, or anything, our brains need that time to de-stress, debunk, get rid of everything, to refresh itself, to mend itself, to get it to where it needs to be, to rest and recover, and then start all over again the next day. So the best thing I think would be is, how do you want your evening routine to look like? What can you do for yourself to get the best night's sleep? What can you do for yourself to wake up nice and refreshed in the morning? It's your life, it's your routine. Don't just copy what someone else done because they said to do it. Do it your own way, find what works for you, and the more you find what works for you in your routines, the more you'll realise about yourself, the more you'll love yourself, the more you'll be happy, and like I say, it's just a wonderful cycle to get into. Obviously, if you want to watch other videos to get more inspiration, go for it, but I would highly recommend to just take snippets that resonates with you. Go with it, try it. If it doesn't work, try something new. We're human after all. We learn, we grow, and that's how we evolve. So I do hope this has given some inspiration on some ideas for your own evening routine, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks so much for listening, and I will see you in next week's video.